Okay, good morning, guys. This is Simon with ToughTrader.com and Trade and Perform Coaching, doing the market preview for the 6th of December. Excuse me. Wow. ADD right out of the gate. So a couple of things, just past performance, not indicative of future results. This is for educational purposes only. You can lose a lot of money trading futures. Make sure you know what you're doing. Capital preservation before P&L. Nice. I just spilled my drink, but no big deal. We'll worry about that later. And that's really my 2 cents. So let's get started. So a couple of things today before we start. Number one, I had to reboot my computer. I hope I saved most of my work before I just kiboshed this. I'm going to find out in 2 seconds. And I'm going to start with ES and work my way around from there. So number one on ES, where are all my... Let's see here. Where have I placed all my profiles? Hey, Randy, good morning. There's ES. Hunted that down. So let's start with that. So since I've already done the zones here and I want to keep up with where I'm at, and I've already posted these obviously overnight. I've been up since about 3 in the morning trading. It's been a good night so far. However, it has not been easy, and the illiquidity moves have been a little frustrating, right? And I'm going to show you exactly the setup that I am looking for today. Okay. So let's do this really quickly. Chart, duplicate chart. And then let's do this so I don't have to duplicate the whole 500 days, chart settings. Let's just throw this up on the last 60 days. Okay. That should be quicker. And then while that's doing that, I will drag it there, CL, and I just need NQ is the only one I am missing. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. NQ 8 range. Ah, there we go with the ES. Okay, so number one, we're back to 1017 of last year on ES. So a couple of areas that are important. I'm going to analysis. I'm just going to erase all lines here. Okay, so number one, what you will notice, first of all, we are trading overnight to a low of, wow, I'm sorry, I'm a little disoriented in terms of where we are in ES. 26.58, the low has been 26.49. That puts us right in here, which is essentially the top of that open window. Okay, and that's marked off on the chart. It's just shy of it. It's somewhere between the mid of the half gap here and the top of the open window. So what you want to ask is what's down here. So if we look, number one thing I'd have marked off on the chart, the swing low. So remember, we're gapping down, right? Everyone's in a panic. Remember, we have not broken the 1026 swing low, and that is important. My experience has been that oftentimes when people try to short, when we have these big gap downs into these locations, and they try to short down here, if we don't gap underneath the primary location, it can break, but it tends to squeeze up pretty hard. Number two, we're going to have news today. I don't think the president can stay off of Twitter. So expect that. Expect random moves. Number three, the liquidity is really, 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 really banana republic thin, right? It's just extremely thin here. What's the point behind that? We're normally using 2 and 3 point stops on ES. On NQ, we're using 10 to 12 point stops. It would not be unusual to have it whip because of the lack of liquidity. And I was talking to Randy about this on Tuesday. It wouldn't be unusual to have the lack of liquidity rip, stop you out, and then go in the direction. So 2 things. Number one, let it settle out. Give it the first hour to go through. What are the key areas that we're looking for? So retail-wise, people are going to be looking at 2 things down here. Assuming we break Globex low, and I'm going to assume that we break Globex low, there's an anomaly. This is Globex low. There's an anomaly sitting right here. I'm watching for the over-under in this area. Notice that this is the last anomaly that needs to be repaired between 26.39 and 26.42, right? Secondly, there's an open gap sitting right there. That goes back to the holiday trading session, but there'll definitely be people looking at that. And then you'll also notice we had 1, 2, 3 bottoms down there. Expect people to try to fight or try to hold this area. The important part is if this holds, this little 26.26 to 26.30. See if it can get back over this anomaly, because if it can, this becomes the natural target back up, this 26.72 to 26.75. I'm telling you right now, I have no idea what they're going to do with the market today. Zero, right? The first 5 minutes of Asia last night on NQ was worth 200 points, 200 down and 130 back up in 5 minutes, okay? So if you're not concerned about liquidity issues, I am certainly concerned about liquidity issues, and I am watching my 9 on that, right? I'm trading less size today. I'm not trading the first hour. Why? What we're trying to do here as a group is keep our equity and make more money, right? How are you going to tell in this environment? Like, a support level doesn't mean jack in this environment when everyone and their brother's either hitting the sell button or hitting the buy button. Everything can get ripped through. What we need is some stability so that we can read what the market's trying to do. So what our areas are immediately here are, we have obviously Tuesday's low, right? And I won't worry about anything inside of Tuesday, because if we make it back up there, we're rallying like a banshee anyways, right? Above 26.71 to 26.75, there's an untested value area low. I'm not going to even worry about marking it off right now. It's really the anomaly up here at 26.70 to 26.72. Obviously, with the overnight ranges we've had, that's easily achievable, right? Below, immediately, 26.42 to 26.39, followed by the most recent swing low of 26.26 to 26.28 area, 26.30 area, and then this 26.02, 2600 area. Underneath that, if we break underneath, this becomes an important trap area. Mark it off on your notes, because the over-under here could easily generate a squeeze up. I'm not saying we're going to crash, by the way, but I want you to remember, when the market crashed in 87, it rallied 200 points prior to rolling over for the day, okay? So I'm standing aside the first hour because I think the liquidity is not there for me to trade, right? And then if you look at these areas underneath, I posted them. This is the old chart. I just didn't want to reload it. I wanted to go through these areas in detail. Obviously, inside here, I expect this to travel above 26.93, have pretty simple and have a very what's the word I'm looking for? An ease of movement between 26.93 and 27.50. Okay, so I'll be looking for delta setups in here to trade off of. If we get back up here, my assumption is we're going to push all the way back through in V shape if it makes it back up into that area. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that chart. So the other areas, these are all back to November of last year, October of last year. Underneath the 2600, the first area I have, there's an anomaly sitting just underneath 2580, right at 2575. It's a weak anomaly, meaning it's not very prominent. However, it's the only thing that's there, right? So that's the next location. There's a swing low just in front of 2560. I look for a response there, followed by 2542. There are naked volume points of control. This is what I was pointing out in the notes overnight, is between this swing low, this 2601, and this 2542, there are no naked volume points of control and no naked TPO points of control. Markets can trade very, very easily between these 2 points. There is an anomaly sitting there, but that's it. And there's no rule on how far market, we could drop 100 points. We could reverse and go straight back up. I don't think anyone expects me to go, hey, this is what's going to happen today, because how the hell does anyone know, right? So let's go cover NQ next. Drag this over here, park it over here to the left so I can reference it easy. There we go. And let me find my NQ chart really quick. They're now open. 1 second. Where is my NQ profile? Oh, there we go. It is right there. And I'm just going to erase all lines because NQ I'm just going to be working step by step, right? So number one, obviously, value area low and prior days low are here. If we trap back in, expect it to rip. There's a clear anomaly right here. Expect that to serve as resistance. Unlike in ES, NQ actually had a double distribution on Tuesday, and both those areas should serve as resistance, right? There's a naked TPO point of control that's been untested in the day session. That's 66.98 to 67.11, followed by another one at 67.47 to 67.39. I expect rejections and or counter rotations at both those locations. Underneath, right, we have 65.79 to 65.52. It's a wide area. It's a naked point of control, and the anomaly is actually behind here at 65.33. The liquidity, by the way, on NQ is going to be ridiculous in the first hour. If you're trading it, just don't be surprised to get stop run by 10 or 20 points in the wrong direction. Wherever your stop is won't help you. That's all I can say. You best have to have a very strong stomach to trade this, right? If you look where we came in on Globex low last night, I think we were down 160 maybe. Actually, I guess because the Asian gap down was lower than that. 66.30 and a quarter. That was right here. I'll mute everyone in just a second. 66.30 and a quarter. That's close enough for hand grenades. I have nothing there. It had to come off of a 24-hour. Chart because I had nothing on the RTH in that area. Give me a second. I'll mute everyone out. Okay. So I don't know why we stopped there other than it was just into the single prints from the 27th, right? And if you also remember, before you get too bearish on NQ or it's all going to zero, this is our swing low from 11.19. Like, this is not a disaster by any stretch of the imagination, right? I'm not bearish until we get underneath it. You can see we rallied quite smartly back up. We have pushed down a lot, but there is support in this area, right? So actually NQ looks better than ES does, frankly. So I'm not bearish there. This would be a retest into the base. If you're going to point out where structure was, you'd simply draw off like this and say, hey, right? You just go in general. We found support in this area, right? Right through here. And so, and that's exactly what we did. I guess if we came off of anything, we came off the top of this level, and the top of this, I'm going to guess if we gave a cumulative point of control through here, we probably just came off the top of that structure there to the left. So I'm not actually bearish. I'm looking for something constructive. I'll go through the exact, I'm going to show you the exact pattern that I'm looking to trade today after the first hour. But first, I'm going to cover CL. Now, I've got one very important note. We have OPEC today. I'm not sure when that meeting ends, but we also have oil inventories. And usually when we miss oil inventories at 9:30 on Wednesday, they roll to 10 o'clock on Thursday. So I won't even start trading till after London close on oil is the first time I'll take a look at it. Okay, so let's cover oil really quick just to give an idea. I think I posted the chart already last night. It was late, but you can see we've done an over-under on the anomaly. It's not, again, even though we've pushed back, this is an RTH only chart. You can see we have not broken the 49.60 low from back on 11:30. I just need to make sure of one thing here on this chart, that I am on the January contract. And indeed I am. CL 51.44. Good deal. Okay. Not bearish, just pushing right back. And if you looked and you had to draw a point of control, we're right into that point of control. So, yeah, it's not pretty, but it's not horrible there either. Again, I'm cautious on getting too bearish on the gap down. I think we could push back up end of the day, personally. I just don't see what's so terrible here. I think the new norm is just high volatility, and we're just pushing into the bottom end of the range, and I don't see anything to be concerned about, right? So specifically, on inventory, I'll be looking. I'd love to get a test of this 50.29 and 50.15. That's where I'd like to be long. On CL, the overnight low was, let's see if it held that anomaly. Where did we come in? 50.23. Ha! There you go. 50.23 was the low. It came right in. That's exactly where I would have wanted to take a shot to the long side, and you can see that's worth just a ton of money already there. So I want to show you the pattern that reversed out of that 50.23 because it's the same pattern I'm looking for NQ and ES. So let's go cover that really quick. And I'm going to drag it over on CL, but then I'm going to give you an example on NQ, ES, and CL of what exactly I'm looking for today. Okay, so you can see here on CL, that's a 5-minute chart. Get rid of that. I want CL 24 hours, and I'm going to give it on a 5-cent range. Okay, so it came in at, it had to be 4 a.m. if I remember. I was here. Right there. Okay. So remember, 5023 is what I had, or 5029 is what I had marked off as my key support area. Okay, but so I want to show you what this reversal pattern, guys, look like so that you can set it up for yourself when you're trading it in real time. By the way, if you're watching me or you're new, I actually read the PA in real time. I don't go, oh, we're going to rally, or oh, we're not going to rally. I'm looking for the turns in real time. I don't just simply trust support resistance areas. And if you want to become a great trader, that's exactly what you'll do too. So we have this trend down right here. And what I'm looking for, you'll notice, okay, so this is specific because we're pushing down. See how we have each of these pushes down that we can't get above on the delta rotations? Right? See, you don't even have to draw them out. We simply can't get above them, right? So here, here. And then you'll see that see how we finally close above. I want to show you. See how we finally close above this last delta rotation right here on this bar. But you actually had an easier mark because we got one more last push down right here. See that last little push down? And that is actually comprised of this rotation right here. I want to be long on this bar right here. I want my stop underneath. That generally under this method comprises a 20-cent stop, right? So my entry would have been roughly 50-50. The stop would have been roughly 50-30. That's 20 cents. I'm willing to take that, and you can see it formed a little head and shoulders there. You notice it wasn't an easy turn, right? See how it consolidated? Your other option on this is, so it's good when you find this sideways consolidation that we built down here for an hour. See how we started, again, getting these presses down here, oops, here, here, and here. And if you look at that same little method, see how it formed a head and shoulders there? But if you look at that and you mark off each swing, notice how it can't get over the top, right? So see right here, it gets over the top right here, and it head fit. So if I had entered here, although the point of control didn't get above, so I wouldn't have. See how the point of control actually stayed right at the bottom. But let's say I had entered here. I would have gotten stopped on this bar because I would have used this as my stop. But I can tell you after that, I would have gone and taken the next entry on that would have been this entry right on that bar right there. Again, the stop would have gone underneath here. So the stop, again, if you look at that, that's 50-30. And the entry would have been roughly, okay, so I need to address this for a second. See how the stop was all the way down here at 50-30 and the entry was at approximately 50-60. So I really don't want to take more than 20 cents. I might have actually missed this because what I would have had to do is come up to this 50. See, I actually might have missed that reversal right there because I would have come back in on this. I would have either had to add 2 cents and be certain that we were reversing out of there, and out of that consolidation, I probably would have wanted to do that. And so at any rate, long story short, I wasn't trading by this point, but I was getting little kids up. But the point is I would have wanted to keep that within 20 cents for the reversal, but that's the pattern that I'm looking at out of consolidation. I'm looking for the pushes down to get above, and then I'm looking for this reversal pattern right here when we get over this last little push. And you can see immediately that was worth almost 20 cents right here. And again, we get over this last little push. That's worth another 30 cents. And then you just simply want to manage the trade out of this location for the push to the upside. You can see it was just a monster trade. Back up, and I'm looking for the inverse on the downside trade. And I'll show it to you. It's the exact same setup. See how I have it marked off over here? See how we got the final push up over here on this bar? Right, I can't close underneath it. And I get one last little push up. As soon as we close underneath, I want to be short here. My stop is right there. Again, that works out to 20 cents. And you can see what also accompanies that formula is making sure you have the right trend line break drawn out so that you can get the break and you can catch the roll to the downside. The point is not that it wins every time. The point is that the RR is ridiculous when you get that set up. And it's the exact same concept. We're just flipping it on its head a little bit. You can also use the shot across the bow, for those who've been in the room for a while, as your next marker, right, where they push down, you close underneath that. You're looking for your next push up, which unfortunately you didn't get very much to deal with to work with overnight. That was the next push up. As soon as it got underneath, bam, we got another big roll. But this is the setup I'm working all day today. on all three markets. Let me go show it to you in NQ, because it works the same. Let's go and drop this really quick. So on NQ, you can see here coming into the low overnight. Again, I'll show you the setup from there because it's set up quite nicely. Okay, so notice how this is my last biggest push down. That was important because once we get above that biggest push down, delta wise, I know if I get above my last seller there, that I have a good chance of squeezing up, right? Whether it's the first time or the second time, I want to be above that area for a push. And you can see that's exactly what happened. You can even see they came back and backside tested that exactly, right? But within this consolidation, see how we get a series of pushes down. Here, I'm just going to mark off the back end of those pushes down, right? So see here we had this little push down. We got above it. It wasn't a very big push. They couldn't get a point of control above it, right? Then you see right here, we get another push down, can't get above it. There's the last push down. Now, I want to show you something. See how on the first time when it's volatile, when the market's strong, this first close above usually results in a push. You have to be able to tolerate a stop, and this is the reason why. That next push comes here, right? And you can see the second time we close above that last push, it takes off. It does backside test it one more time. And again, you can see this is the final little push right here, and it closes above. And again, you can see that rip that took place right after 5 a.m. Now you can see where we're at right now on this 8:30 push, right? See how you got this last little push. We went through consolidation. They attempted to break the base right here. See how they tried to break down, trap back in? This is the base of that last push. And you'll see again the reason why I want that close above. Again, this is on a 5 range. It works on an 8 range if you can tolerate a bigger stop. The deal is on that entry, your stop has to come down here at the low, right? And when the market's volatile, you're looking at a 60.65 for a 60.44 stop. It's 20 points. It's $400 a contract. Now, when it's volatile on NQ, if you want a tighter stop, very simple. If you don't get a green bar immediately, or just say, hey, you know, you can use other markers to help you out. But the problem is that you might always get a backside test of the lows, right? And still have it rip in this direction. That comes down to your setup and getting your one-on-one coaching done correctly so that you know what you can tolerate as a win or a loss, right? And then I'm looking for the exact same opposite on the upside. So see how we've pushed here? See how we're doing this consolidation thing right here? So here, I'll show you. See how we've pushed up and we had this final little push up right here, right? See how we've closed underneath right there? So here, I'll do an example. I'll even short it early in the day. See how that's 67.23? I'll take a, let me make sure I have my domes up and I can get to it quickly enough. NQ. Here, I'll take a sell of a 67. I have my trading domes locked. Let me unlock them. There we go. So I'm going to put it up here at 67.09 and see if I can get filled. And I'm going to put that stop literally at 67.24. Okay. So they just filled me. And I'm going to put my stop at 67.24. They may run me over. They may not. Whatever they do is fine. It's a small size trade. There we go. Got them in. Okay. And if they run me over, it's fine. If they get above this push down, they're going to squeeze anyways. I want the stop. And I know that trading early in the day there, they're about to stop me. That's a horrible example, but there you go. So see if it comes up and it rejects over here again. It's all right. I'll just simply wait till they get underneath. How far are we down? NQ down 89. Wow, they actually stopped me to the tick. I will try that one more time. Hold on. Again, I am trading a quarter of what I normally trade. So now I took it 67.11 and a quarter, and I'm using the same stop, guys. 67. How do they get to, it doesn't show that it traded over. Oh, yeah, it did. I need to bump that for a second. $67.26 this time. And wow, I may get stopped 2 times back to back, and I just did. Again, it's moving so fast that it's very, very difficult. But the whole point is what I want, or what I wanted was I want this trend line break. And again, I expect to get stopped today. I'm trading 1/4 of what I normally trade, right? There's the trend line break. I want to see it close underneath the last push. That was that. And then I expect a roll back to the downside. And I expect it to be very, very difficult in this area. I don't expect them to make it easy, right? Give me just 1 second here. Because I don't know what I missed there. Hold on 1 sec. What am I missing? Is there an anomaly right above there? Why do we keep pushing up to that? Let's see. Down, down, up, 67.20 and 67.32. Don't. Last push up. I actually will wait until I get a close underneath this last push up, and I'll give it one more shot in this area. Again, we're in the first 15 minutes. I expect it to be difficult. If we close underneath here, underneath the 67.08, I will give it another shot to the downside. Okay, I'll wait just a second. I need to see the point of control underneath. But again, that was just unfortunate. It normally doesn't work that way. Usually you get this trend line break, it closes underneath, and then it just rolls, right? So anyways, that's my 2 cents about what I'm looking for today. It should work the same way in CL afterwards. Normally that's a fantastic trade. I think I just got jinxed because I'm trading the first 30 minutes. After 11 o'clock, I will push back to full-size trading, but not before then, okay? So give me just 1 second here. I am a stubborn individual. That is my... I reshorted 67.04 1/4. Okay, I'm short there right now, and I will add on the backside test of this push up right here back into 67.11. Again, I'm trading quarter size, so each of those stops I've taken basically half of a full stop, and I'm trading in the first half hour. I understand the risks involved there. I'm back at 67.08 to add to this trade, and hopefully I'm going to get that right now. I actually have to place the order in order to do that. And I'm going to put one more at 67.10 just in case they'd be willing to fill me out. Okay. So my whole point behind this is that I'm looking for the trend line break, pushing over, and I'm going to give you an example where I goofed this on Tuesday afternoon, which was right about here. No, where were we? Wednesday. Again, if you're following these trades with me, guys, I put in warnings deluxe about how hard this is. Manage on your own risk, right? So I'm short 67.04, and I have a limit order sitting at 67.08 and 67.11 if they'll fill me, okay? So and if I am not covering, by the way, so it's up 10 points, I will, why am I off on this trade? Hold on a second here. Something's wrong. 67.04. What is wrong with this? Hold on. Something's wrong here real quick, guys. My fills are coming in incorrectly. We're at 68. Chart settings. Find. That is correct. What is wrong with my data feed? That can't be right. Guys, I got a problem with the data feed because it can't be reflecting correctly what I have here. Hold on a sec. One of these two is incorrect. Oh, no, it is. I've got it. I'm inverting the number. I see what I'm doing. Never mind. I'm fine. Sorry. I'm good. I'm looking at 2 different quotes, and I'm doing an ADD thing. There's no problem. We're good. So I still have my order. I'm still open. I have not covered. I don't intend to cover. I'm going to see if I can get a break. If y'all will go back to late Wednesday afternoon on this, guys, again, I'm kind of burning time here because I'm waiting until after the first hour gets done. See how we had this trend line up over here? Remember, I was working this order. I was doing great right up until that last little pop, which, by the way, was thanks to our Treasury Secretary. But see how when we got, see on this last little pop, it broke, right? And then we got this last little push right here. I want to be short right underneath that pop right there. And that was the only mistake that I made in that whole series, and I would have had that roll to the downside. So I got stopped right here. I had to draw the line somewhere. That's where they just barely ran me over on the stop there. I killed it over here, and I basically gave it all back. I got this whole roll down. I got multiple roll downs through here, and that stopped out. What I was trying to do is create that trade to move all the way to the downside, and it'd been beautiful if it had worked. It didn't work. C'est la vie, right? So 68.84, I will take 20 off on that. And I'm already limit there. Let me see if I can get it. Hold on a second here. I'm already limit at 66.84. I'm not sure I can get it, but I'm limit there to take off half, and I will add that back if they will push back up. Okay. So anyways, that's my 2 cents, guys. That's what I'm looking for. Let's get to work. CL, there's nothing to do until they are completely done with oil inventories, and then I'll go attack it. 66.84 is done. Okay, so took half there, and if I close this position right now, I'm actually up on the day. I will wait a couple of minutes and see if I can get a further push down and see if we can retest those lows. Okay, so anyways, if you're trading today, you saw me, I got 2 quick stops and I was still in the right area, right? Generally speaking, I expected the roll back down this morning. That's going to be normal all day today, where you get a pretty good setup, right? You get a pretty good setup. They get underneath the key area. Just don't be shocked. This first setup right here is usually pretty good. You get a little backside test up in here and it rolls. They pushed one more time. You've got to be able to tolerate those stops. In my case, I took 2 quarter-size stops up here. And at any rate, that's my 2 cents. I'm going to take another scale down here at 74. Just take it at 70. It went at 70 and a quarter and 70. So flat on that. So that's 34 points on that trade. And I never got filled on my upper levels. So I'll cancel that, cancel the balances. And I had a feeling we were going to roll over. That is what we were looking for. And normally when the market's a little more steady, that would have gone much more smoothly than it did. So, and we're outside of the first half hour. Does anyone have any questions over that, guys? Particularly guys in the room? Thank you, Peter. That took a little bit of work. I knew I was in danger of getting run over there in the first 30 minutes. But, okay, so notice that we're coming down to a key area on a prior swing low, right? So we've held this area before. Let me go to the profile real quick. Okay, why is that there? That is incorrect. Let me do something here real quick. Erase, yes. There we are. We're coming down to the Globex low. I still think this 65.79 to 65.53 is the location for looking for a reversal. I just don't have anything here to go, hey, just buy it. Globex low will obviously attempt to be defended, right? And if we go back and look at ES really quick, let me pull up the chart. ES profile, chart number 7. And I'm going to adjust my chart back to a 6 range because of the range that we're on here real quick. That'll be up in just a second. Wow, 6 range doesn't even help that, does it? Why is this off? Hold on a sec. Chart settings, number 7. Chart. Attach window. Where did that go? Chart settings, chart number 7. There we are. There's our levels way, 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 way down there, right? And you can see where we opened up. Something just seems wrong here. Hold on one second. Why is it on this profile? Do I just not have any? Why isn't this copying over? ES profile. We are pushing into key areas down here. Why do I not have this 2643 should be carrying over to chart 7. Chart settings, advanced settings. Oh, there we go. 7. How about that? That'll probably fix the problem. Still nothing. Okay, guys. I don't know why that's not carrying over. That should be an automatic. Advanced settings. Copy drawings from chart number 7. ES profile. Okay, we'll do it the hard way. 2643 to 2639. Is your anomaly. And you can see they're trying to hold it right in there. Okay. I've got no reason to think they're going to hold that. Like I said, I'm totally fine with them just doing whatever it is that they have to do in the first half hour to let them run through that. Okay. And again, I would stress, if you are trading today, lower your size to take stops. You saw me do it. You saw I didn't even get remotely upset. A, I traded inside the first half hour. B, very, very importantly, I knew the chance of me getting run over was very, very high in this situation. And that is a part of doing business here. Okay. So stops are going to happen if you're going to day trade. I don't have a miracle way of reading the market and going, and no one else does either. Anyone who tells you, boom, I know the market's going back up, or boom, I know the market's going back down. All I know is I saw across FinTwit people talking about us going to new highs last Thursday. New highs were on deck. Nobody freaking knows. And I traded, and let me tell you, I traded through the Asian contagion, 2000, 2008. You don't freaking know. Okay. News can come out at any time. Be agile. Don't think you know what you're doing. Stay humble. And by the way, there's someone who signed up for the room, Cindy. If you're listening on YouTube, I know you follow me on YouTube. You signed up for the room. You did not give me a valid email to contact you to give you links into the room. Please send me an email to TRADERTOUGH@gmail.com so I can get you the passwords for the Slack channel and the morning meetings. So anyways, we will get to our work. Let's just let them work this out. You may want to work off of an 8 range on NQ. I'm going to stay with a 5 range, but I expect and anticipate that I will get stopped multiple times. You can see the anomalies holding here, but there's not a very strong response out of that. And you can see even on a 1.5 range bar, we're just printing bars like nuts. The first thing that has to happen for us to reverse is we have to get over this last group of sellers, and that hasn't happened yet. I keep keeping tabs on this. I'm going to see the point of control above. Same thing here on NQ. We've got to get above our last seller with a point of control above, and that's where you have your first shot at getting a reversal. As you can see, I don't have a green bar with a point of control above. I'll be marking up the charts all day. I am working off of an 8 range for my larger picture so I can keep track of what the heck's going on. This thing's been a rodeo, okay? So I expect that in the afternoon, after 10:30 close, we will have easier trades and it'll be easier to make money. Same thing in CL. I expect that we'll have easier time making money after 10:30 a.m. And then I expect that the president tweets for that to be a 50 to 100 point rip in NQ. And if you remember just from a couple of weeks ago, right? If you remember from a couple of weeks ago, it looks like we're going to take out that low, by the way, on ES. Remember from a couple of weeks ago, we had 100-point moves in under 2 minutes in NQ. That's $2,000 a contract. Know what you're freaking doing there. I implore my guys, particularly guys that I'm coaching, don't blow up today. It's not worth it. You'll come back tomorrow and go, look how easy it is after everyone got run over Look how easy it is. And these moves, right? Even if you look here, this looked like it was a pretty decent head and shoulders move off. People got wiped, and they continue to get wiped because what you're seeing is, see how they're letting off the selling, lifting, and then just ambushing it to the downside where there's no counter. See how they try to counter right here into the base, and they got swept. They think, I finally got to the upside, and they're just sweeping them, just like I took. Actually, I covered quite early, apparently. This sweeps are happening repeatedly to the downside. We are crawling to the upside, and we are sweeping to the downside. And you also saw that those ranges were 20 points, right? Pretty quick and in pretty short order. They were ripping in both directions. So, and my small account won't be traded till after 11 o'clock today. That'll be the first time I'll even pry that thing open. Will be after 11 o'clock. So I think that's good. Peter, thanks for sharing that. Ralph, by the way, thanks for sharing your insight as well. I know you had the 50 areas pretty critical. So let's see what they end up doing. Looks like they are trying to hold that anomaly, right? See how we finally got above our last push down? See that? As soon as you get above, it should be starting to try to work to the upside. The anomaly was right underneath that 50. You can see they held it. Again, I trusted about as far as I can throw it. So the Chinese have actually come out and made pretty positive comments about trade and that they felt confident a deal will be worked out. But again, what's driving this is we arrested or Canadian authorities arrested a high-ranking Huawei, if I pronounce that right. It's the CFO of that company, which looks like it's really going to throw a monkey wrench into any negotiations, possibly. That's what's really driving this last little wrench, is it really looks like the Trump administration's upping the ante significantly on charges that she sold restricted technology to the Iranians. So anyways, that's my 2 cents about that. Let's see what sets up. Over here on CL, I want to show y'all something because, again, this is going to be one of my prime setups, right? As you can see, I'm looking each time we get above our last set of sellers, and it'll be quick, right? Because they're not going to give us the luxury. And again, it'll be after inventories. On that first close above, I'm looking for that long and that rip up, right? And I'll be pretty damn agile. I actually will move my stop right below here as quickly as possible. And that the other thing that I'm looking for there is, as we establish a push down, I'm looking to break, hopefully establish a base, and then see how we're establishing a base here. And then if we get a big shove, like see how they're shoving really hard right here to get a move to the downside, right? But see how they're not making any progress on that move. If we can close back above now that 74, right? That'll be my long for a push back up. And where am I looking to push back up? Right back to either retest this high or break this high back at 52. Again, it's a wild card right now, and it's not worth trading, so it's just worth mentioning. I'll wait till after oil inventories to start trading that. Any questions? In the meantime, if you're trading, it's the wild, wild west. I'll keep calling my NQ trades. I plan to be pretty active on a small level. See how we just got that push up right there? See this right here? This final little push up, right? If I can get a close underneath that lip right there with the point of control underneath, that'll be my entry. My close, unfortunately, the 5 range is moving so fast and covering so much territory, and I don't want to go down because it's too much data, right? I'm just going to have to wait till we close underneath. And then what you have to do is, let's say you want a 10-point stop in there, is you're going to have to wait for the backside test. Or my suggestion is you simply cut trade size, right, if you don't want to take that loss. But you can also do a 50-60 back once it closes underneath. So now you have a 66.88. That's a modified 50-60 back against roughly a 66.98. So see that right there? So I'm short 66.77 if I can get to it. And damn, I could not. I'm limit there at 77. See if they'll backside test me really quick. No luck so far, but I'll be patient with it for a second. I can usually get a tab. And then I'm also, I'll put the other half of that order at 81. See if they'll come back for me. Come on, you can push one more time. The stop has to be back here, guys. Okay. And it looks like it's just going to be so fast. I'm going to miss a lot of these today, but I'm not going to chase down. If they'll give me a test back up here, right, into the 77 area, I'll take it. If they just roll it, they just roll it. There's nothing I can do about that. Let's see. Again, quarter size order entries and no more than half size total. I need a little more push to get the order. Oh, look at that. It just stopped in its tracks. Let's go. Short squeeze. Up. Just a temporary one. There's a 77. I'm still sitting at 81 for the other half of this. Okay. And my stop, which I always run the risk of getting run over, right, has to be behind this 94. And as a matter of fact, I'm putting it at 95. Okay. And I'm trying to get a 1-to-1. I've adjusted my risk due to the size of this. Okay. And I know it'll be fast either way, just like this morning. No stop is really safe, right? This is a 50-60 back on a modified basis, by the way. So if you're looking to get that entry not getting rolled over, that's your next entry point right there. But again, they could reverse. We're down a lot. Wow, looks like they're going to take me. 93, not yet. How am I getting hit right to the tick 2 times? I got stopped on that. That's the problem with how fast it is. See if I just caught it right here. I had an instant exit out of this trade. Instead, they just ran me over. So it may just simply be too hard for me to get the trade off. That's a 60, 30 point rotation in seconds, right? So again, they're not going to make it easy today. So now I'll just wait for the next setup. I'm still in good shape for the day. There's not a problem from a P&L standpoint, at least for me. And if they push it up, more power to them. That may have been news. We got run with big deltas across the board. CL jumped, NQ jumped, and ES jumped all at the same time. And this is too big for me to short underneath. I'll have to wait for a new setup on this. And you've seen me on days, guys, where I kill it, right? So now you're seeing me on days where I don't kill it, right? Where I do have a difficult time. And you see why I've reduced the trade size. It is freaking fast, right? And if this was a run over on news, I'm all right with that, right? Let's see where we are in the profile. We're just re-auctioning this poorly auctioned area. I'll wait for the counter back up. I do think we'll go lower. I don't think we reverse it today. So the real beast of this is it's moving so fast that there's no reasonable stop you can put in without getting just run hard. By the way, on the base of this, first time in, if you're looking for a trade, that should give you a response at 75 to 67. That should give you a response back up first time in. Oh, look at that. They're just running them out. I'll try this one more time, and if it doesn't work, I'll give for the morning. Where am I? I'm actually limiting at 87 to sell and filled. Stop's got to go up on top there. Okay. Wow, look at that. Flattening market. I don't even know where I'm at, but I'm flattening. And I'll look for a backside test back up here. Against 66.92. And you should get a response out of 66.75. Looks like most of that went off at 80 and 79, between 80 and 79 on the cover there. And then I am shorting 66.90 and 95 if they'll give it to me. '90's done. I don't have 95 yet. Stop's going above that 67.04. Excuse me. $67.06.25. Despite the fact that they keep tagging me right above, that's the right way to run that trade. And I don't think 1 point's going to help me, so I'll just put it right up there. Still outstanding on my second order. Not for long. Nope, got it. Quick market, guys. It's just going in a flash, so just be aware of that. Be able to handle that. And remember, I'm taking the original part. I took that original part of that trade. I'm contributing to this trade in terms of P&L. I'm using that P&L to help me work off this trade because there's no way for me to predict whether that high will hold or not, right? So 92.75 is my average on that trade. Again, it's so freaking fast. You're going to have to trade it based on your own thought process there. I want to see something here real quick. Wow. I should have targeted that 67, 67.10, but that's all right. Wow, they're going to stop me. They got it over 6,700 again. That's too hard, and I'm trying to let it linger there to get the roll down, and they're not ready to let it roll down. pretty much as bad as it gets in an illiquid market. Watch, it'll just sweep me. See, they're going to sweep it, and they're going to take it right back underneath. They're just running it over the highs. Very frustrating. I'm willing to reinitiate that one more time. I am down on the day, obviously. I might be wrong. Maybe they reverse it today. Maybe they just take it all the way back up. I mean, damn, I had that planned out. And the only way I got that is when I actually limited underneath the break. Reinitiating here at 05 to 10. And I'm stopping 20. I may be on the wrong side of this coin, guys. Again, reduce size. I expect it to get easier later. Adding a little bit here. I need to close underneath 6704 to seal it. That's done. I'm adding a little bit more here. Stop is at 6620 on this. The average is 6704 now. I am actually above half size now. Again, I'm not scaling by choice, right? I'm not scaling by choice. Which means if they run it up against me, I'm simply not taking my P&L off here yet. Back into the 24-hour VWAP on this. Hypothetically, I see this just hold underneath 6,700 now. This is the largest I've been all morning, size-wise. And now I need a push. We're trying to hold this trend line up. So it's flagging here. I'm trying to hold that channel right there off the 8 range. You can't see it. That's the channel they're trying to hold. I need that channel broken. The other option you have to tighten that stop up, I'm trying to give you alternatives when it's like so liquid like this, is bring your modified 50-60 back here and put your stop right there. So you can hypothetically put it at 6708, right? I don't like doing that when it's this illiquid, and I do think we can break the bottom of that channel. The reason I don't like doing that is because it'll whip right above and then whip right back underneath. I literally would rather take the stop. The other option I have is pray that it just doesn't come back at all and move my stop to break even at 6704. I'm not doing that. I will take some of this size off if I can get them to roll it down hard. And again, remember that base should provide a response the first time in. Back over here. This base should get tested. And that 66.75, I will cover some into that. So I'm now back up on the day, and I'm going to take a little bit of a scale here. I took half off there at 84 to bring me back to normal size for what I was planning for the day. And now I can have the choice of bringing my stop back to true break back to 6704. and hope that we hold underneath the 66.94. I have no idea if we hold it down here or not. I'm pretty sure we test this base right down here. But they're not letting it go gently into the night, that's for sure. If they do push up in here one more time, I will add again the 67.04, what I just covered. I run the risk of being caught on a reversal day, right? I had 67.04, part of it. I'm going to put another part of it at 67.08. See that? How you can put your stop right behind that 62 retrace? I was counting on them wicking it a little bit past that. Maybe they will. CL is just getting slaughtered here. What do we have a 10:30 inventory time, guys? Again, if you're following me, A, make sure you can take the stops. B, right, understand the risks. It can reverse on us. This is not a guaranteed bear move, right? I didn't get 08 yet. No fill. I don't know if I'm due a fill, but they didn't give me a fill. Come on, just push the 08. See how they're getting tired all of a sudden? Here we go. No, man, that 07, I don't know what's there, but someone's offering 07, that's for sure. They're stopping it right in its tracks. Got the 08. Now let's see if they punish me with a 20 stop. CL's just falling apart. Did inventories come out early? And they're just crushing it. I'll be looking to take scales again below 90, 60, 66.90. Oil's right into the anomaly at 50.61. You get almost immediate response there. Again, I'm waiting till after inventories are out. I can't tell you how hard this is, just from a mental standpoint of having the ranges whip like that. I'm at 88 to take off the 08 that I added up there. And again, I'm purposely not taking off, right? So if they come back and stop me, there's no crying about it. I'm just making a trading decision, right? If they reverse this, which is possible, I'll just chalk it up to, hey, that's how it goes. They are definitely trying to reverse it. There's no question. Question of when do they run out of energy? And it looks like they're going to come and stop me now. 15 should get 20. Damn, too bad. It's just a sneeze away now. Stopped. So, at any rate, not very easy, guys. That's all I can say. Did we just trade into the POC from this off to the left? Bet we did. Oh, that was earlier. And I'll be damned if I just didn't get stopped up there. Guys, I'm probably reinitiating up here. What's the high? 35? Oh, maybe I'm just totally off base. I thought I had a better read than that. Working this 15 to 20. It's got to stay below 20. Otherwise, I'll just wait. There we go. I'm average now on this. So I got stopped. I'm average again now at 67, 14, 75. And I'm working that for a push back to the downside. I'm pretty sure we retest those lows. That was just way too easy. And again, I'm up at what I said I was going to have as my max size. I'm over by 10 contracts on my max size. And again, I'm not taking scales off here. I'm actually trying to get them to push it back to the downside. So if you're following the trades, right, they're getting up in the P&L. The easiest way for you to avoid getting run over is just put your stop at break even and hope it goes. And we're coming up on the 9:30. Expect algos in the next minute. Ten a.m. Thanks, Randy. And I may just be wrong. Maybe that's the low. We've been grinding up since for the last 30 minutes. It's flagging, but we've been grinding up for the last 30 minutes. There we go. I really need it underneath 6,700 if I'm going to get back to positive again. I keep flagging between up and down. There we go. Now I just need to break underneath 6,700. And it's pretty damn quick. I really would rather not see it above 67.20 again. That may be a fantasy with the way this thing is whipping up and down. And I need it underneath the 66.92 to really get it rolling. And above that, right there, above that 67.20, it may be gone. And there's no way I would have survived this in the tiny account. I'd have gotten stopped. As a matter of fact, I'd be stopped out max for the day because the most number of contracts I can run in that small account is 3 contracts. I just wouldn't survive the ranges. And I got to tell you guys, the sellers aren't there right now. Or the buyers are there. They're trying to save this thing. They're doing a better job of it on NQ than they are on ES, but come on, sell man. Y'all have pushed up pretty good. Let's find the sellers. I need 6,700 to go. Again, choosing not to take scales, right, puts me at risk of having it come back against me, right? Now I need 66.90 to go. So if you are short this and you need to cover or scale, please do, because I have no idea that it actually is going to roll for me. All right, this can just be a pushback into the mid. They may be trying to retest that high. And just like that, we're back to where I'm short. This was where it requires patience. Because if I can get them to break, I've got them paid huge. 67 has to go. Yeah, I agree with you. Although obviously my shorts haven't been doing that great. If I'd taken my profits on every one of those shorts every time they turn green, I'd be fine. But I've been trying to press. And ES is not, like as Ralph is pointing out, not doing that well. To give you a bigger picture of what we're stuck in here is this. There's the 8 channel. I got to get out of the bottom of this channel here. I can draw a sharper angle off the bottom there. Now it looks like we're under. I can get rid of this. There we go. Now I got below 6,700. If I can break the 6,690, I'm in business again. I'm not taking my scale here, right? I'm betting that we're going to break and roll to the downside. So I'm still at a little bit bigger than I probably should be. So here, I lied. I got to bring it down a little bit. So let's do that. Let's bring off 10 cars off of this. 96 and 95 is what that went off at. Usually you get the initial break, then a push back up. And there's a push back up. So it should backside test and then roll. Unless they're not going to roll it. Again, the most important thing you can do is just stay calm in this environment. Stay calm. There's no way to beat it. Okay. Either don't trade, right? Either don't trade it, reduce size, or wait till it's calmer because we're rolling in minutes. We just rolled 92 to 12 and under, I think it was a minute and a half. I was about to add what I just took off, but they came back down. If they push back up again, I'll add it. Limit up at 10 and 12 for the ads that I took off at 95, 96. Nothing done there yet. There's the 10. There's the 12. Wait, they didn't fill me on the 12. Seriously? I think it went 12 tick and I didn't get filled. Nothing done on the 12. Still out there. Still not done on the 12. No, I'm done on the 12. Again, guys, would be easy for me to get stopped here, right? Got to scale in and out. Looks like I might get stopped. Damn, I thought I had him. There we go. There's no way I'd survive this in my small account, guys. It'd be absolutely impossible for me to. I'd be a nervous wreck. There we go. Now roll it. Damn, back to the 6704 battle line. I think we can roll down 100 points from here, guys. That's why I'm fighting this trade so hard. I think we can retest those lows. That's why I'm not taking it off. If you need to take it off, please do. I think I get a 100-point roll out of here. I don't say that lightly. I think we do. I mean, look at the time. We're still down 100 points. They've tried really hard to bounce this, and they haven't. Right. So that's my reasoning behind. I think we can come back and retest the lows. So they've worked and they've worked and they've worked. Right. So my 11s and 12s, I'll take back off at 96 and 95. My 10 and 12, I'll take back off at 96 and 95 down here if they'll give me a chance to. I have them loaded to go. Of course, got to give me a chance to actually do that. Well, that's the hardest consolidation we've had in a long time. They're not pushing and they're not breaking. Back through my 14. I didn't take a single contract off. Remember, news kiboshes me. I'll get swept instantly if it's viewed as positive at any rate. Damn, I would have really liked to got that 95, 94 down there. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, what a wit factory. Look at that. That's ES. That is ridiculous. That's a 1.5 range on ES. Again, anyone who doesn't want to ride the whipsaw or can't take the stop, right? You can cover at any point. I'm just betting that the break's going to be onto the downside of this consolidation. Again, my average right now on this one is 67.1472. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me of that, Ralph. As I'm sitting here short. Ralph's pointing out, he goes that we've been consolidating for 45 to 48.58 for 45 minutes. Hard to justify putting on risk in the middle of that consolidation. He's absolutely right. As y'all can see, I'm suffering through not being able to get at least what I consider a good RR scale off. And we must be close to pushing, about to roll over, because I'm about to push the button on the scene and just say screw it and close it. He just don't want to let it go. Well, this is worse than I thought it was going to be. I thought we'd actually range. I didn't think we would chop like this. The good news for me is we don't have any buyers pushing it. The bad news is we don't have any sellers looking for to take it off either. At 96.95, I will take some of what I have on off. I'm loaded to do that at the market when that does that. Right now, 95 and 93 is where that went. And I'm going to take a little bit more off. 90. Okay, and I'm going to leave this. Okay, that took a lot of work. I'm back to positive on my P&L and up on the day. That took a freaking boatload of work. 84. Scaling again to bring me back to normal size at 87. Normal, half size. So I'm good now, I think. But that's the only way I know how to work that, guys. I'm sorry. I wish I had a pinpoint location, but in a market like this, I don't. So I hope that downside break sticks this time. I would like to see NQ minus 200. But in a concession to staying profitable, stop moved to break even at 66.12 to 66.14. Let's make it 66.12 to 66.15. There we go. So they want to come bring it all the way back, and they certainly can. They can have it, but at least I stay on the profitable side of the formula now. Is everyone doing all right, guys? Other than that, CL's been a beast already this morning. We haven't even gotten to the inventories yet. So I am holding for a roll down to NQ minus 200 on the day. Don't ask me why I'm picking that, but that's what I'm picking. They really pressed hard up here in this consolidation. See this? They really pressed hard on this flag. They really pressed hard on bringing that back up. See that? So it would make sense that we come back down. We never tested this low. We never tested the backside of this low. So that's what I would look to get tested out of here maybe. Or lower. And they worked really hard to bring that up. So I could be wrong. I think I'm right. Now it's just got a matter of patience to let it pay. Randy, are you doing okay, brother? Bill, you doing okay? We have 9 minutes until oil inventories are up, and then we can start having some fun. Gotta admit, that 2643 zone, pretty much spot on. That's pretty nice. This was the top of the open gap, bottom of the open gap, and that was the anomaly, right? Just missed it, pushed up. But we're consolidating with a downside bias, right? So one of the ways you can tell if we start to break up, that's off a 5-minute chart, is if we get clear of that downtrend, right? There's plenty of room to the upside if we do. Good job, Randy. Mari, you doing okay, buddy? Good. I hear you. I hear you on that. I hear you on that, Daniel. Thank you for the feedback. Good job, Mari. I don't think this is the day, if you have a small account, that you press. I don't. I don't have my small account turned on. Not even remotely, like not even like a little bit. I'm not even willing to trade one contract there. Because I needed the room that I had. You saw how I kept being right and being wrong. I know I need room to operate on a day like today. And I can't have it that I'm like, oh, I hit my stop. I've got to stop trading. Hey, Daniel, can you give me what your point is on that? And can you give me a time on that push and which range you're looking at, please? All of that would be helpful. You're kind of, I can't tell what perspective you're coming from. I can't lose money on this trade now. I'm coming into this push right over here. This one right here. Press down. This one. You got to give me a time, brother. I'm ADD, man. You're making me guess. The 3:59 a.m. or the 8:13 a.m.? That's the biggest push down right there. That's at 66.80. Is that what you're referring to? Okay. I agree with that. I have no issue with that. I still think lower. And I have no risk now. So I'm good. What Randy's pointing out, here, I'll clear up this chart. Daniel's pointing out, we had this big push. Well, we have a lot of data here. I think he has a little bit different time, but I think we're talking the same area here. See that big push where they failed? They couldn't break the low. They gave just a boatload of push down. That's the biggest push down. And so you got to figure that guys are stuck there. And they're going to defend. I covered down into this. New lows, ES. So I see what you're saying. I've already covered some down into it. I think we break it is my thought process on that. New lows, ES. My figure is we get down minus 200 on NQ. I may just be delusional or greedy, one of the two. But Daniel's correct. See how they're defending the top of that? He's not off his rocker. Four minutes until oil. I'm very interested in seeing what the response is there. I'll be right back so we can take a look at that. I think we can trade through this, Daniel. Although that was a big push down, so I now don't want to see it. I don't want to see us get above. See, now I'm in position where I can work the trade. So I don't want to see it close above 6,700 at this point. All right, if I can hold it underneath 6,700, I've got it. If I can't hold it underneath 6,700, the trade will get stopped. Okay. I got it, but Daniel, what's the good oil inventories coming out in 3 minutes? And so we just start over after that. Finally got you. Finally, you made me fish all morning long. Let's go look at CL while we observe this. CL is about to be ridiculous. It'll be untradeable, just so you know. Daniel, were you referring to the 50-50 anomaly on CL? Just won 100 points, guys. That is funny. 100. Wow. Y'all see that? 100 picks. Just like that. It went from 50, 60 to 51-30. I guess it wasn't quite 100, but wow. That's what I meant by it's untradeable. There had to be some news out. Everything jumped all at once. I can't believe everyone's so on edge about that. Still untradeable. I'll wait till it settles down. Someone just made a lot of money, and someone just lost a lot of money. Oh, look at that. That was just, there's just nothing there. My instincts would be to fade it. My stop is in place on NQ. I'm not worried about it anymore. I'm just going to let it do what it has to do. Last press. If you want a trade and you're willing to get run over, you can use that 5130 as your stop now for a roll back down to the lows. I'm not willing to trade it for half an hour until after inventory gets done. There's usually just too many other opportunities to have to screw with it. But that 5130 is probably good for a roll back to the downside. So see that push on 51.32. I'm not willing to trade it, but if this had been anything other than oil inventories, right, I'd be willing to fade this. I'd have my stop right there at 32. I can't resist, actually. Short 51.10 against 51.32 and 33. Maybe a quick ride. And make sure I got the stop right up there. Yeah, 32, 33. It may be a very quick ride for 20 cents. See if that initial reaction's wrong. And if they run it, I'm fine. I know where I'm trading. They're going to run it. Too many people were betting on the short. So my next entry is 1, 2, maybe not. I need it under here now. I need it underneath 5109. Oh, maybe I got it. Boom. That's a good, that's good. Okay. I can move stop down to 5128 now, which I am doing. And 29 and 30. Just a couple pennies difference, but that helps. Again, I know I'm playing with fire here, being so close to oil inventories. My hope here is I can get them to retest those lows. Put me all the way back over here into this 50-60 area. You can see I have support into that area. Again, risk is now down to 18 cents on that trade. Well, I guess they're not going to make it easy. And again, I'm not taking my P&L off on this trade. I'm willing to risk the 18 cents to see if I can't get the 50, 60 or lower retested. If I'm wrong, so I took choices. I can bring my stop to break even, right? Or I can just close it out, take my couple of pennies that I have here. I just think that they can break it lower. That's all. There we go. Let's go. 50, 60. Heading towards London close. Anything can happen towards London close, by the way. Keep that in mind. If there's too many shorts, they'll run it over. Again, I'm pretty okay getting stopped at this point on NQ. I'm profitable on the day, even if I get stopped. Not as profitable as I am right now. Let's retrace that move. Come on. I'm going to take a scale right here. Oh, son of a gun. I just got raped. I sent it market 50.98. I mean, that's still all right. That's more, that's 13 cents, but I thought I had it at 85. Fast market. Okay, so I've taken 98, 10, 11, 12, 12 cents. So I'll still be down a little bit if I get stopped on the balance now. Caution on market orders. That was very uncool of the market to do that to me. And I didn't pull my stop order on part that I didn't cover. There we go. Now I am. Wow, that was freaking fast. And literally from the time I took my hand up, placed it on the mouse, and clicked, I already had the order loaded to go. It cost me 18 cents almost. Yep. I'll agree with you, Daniel. It did print those 3 bars. I witnessed it. All I want NQ down is another 75 points. I will close it and go have a strong drink over lunch. And 50, 60 would be nice on CL if they would give it to me. Whoosh. Here we go. Let's let the London close parade begin, and let's take it to minus 200 on NQ so I can smash that and make it for my embarrassment for this morning. still need 50, 60 on this CL. Needs a very variable word. What I need is NQ to go down minus 200. That is a need. Again, I may just be wrong. I may just be looking at gift horse in the mouth. Does anyone have a strong reason why I should be taking more scales that I'm ignoring, or am I getting too cocky on this thing? Because I think I got them. Yes, sir. It'd be nice if they would go ahead and roll it to 50, 60. I'm not making it the easiest trade in the world. Thank you, Maury. I respect that. Maury thinks I'm getting too cocky. Anything can happen on London close today, and I mean anything. It can run straight up, straight down. Everyone may be pressing for a London close panic, right? So I'll have a slightest of losses if I get stopped on this CL. It's a free ride for me at this point, almost. And obviously, I'm being a bit stubborn today on the scales. New lows, ES. I wish NQ were printing new lows. Come on, CL. Break it. At 26.75, that's the swing low. You got to figure that's what they're aiming for. Wherever NQ is when we hit that, I will take a scale. Whether it's minus 200 or not. Well, Mario, remember I got run over. You were late. I took some early stops on NQ. Although this is pretty awesome right now. And since I haven't taken it, I'm still subject to any piece of news coming out and running me over, right? Remember, we've had 100-point rotations here. I'm watching that 26.75 pretty closely. I'm concerned too many people are shooting for that 26.75. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a bit chicken. I'm going to take some of this off on NQ. Shoot, watch. Right when I figured that out, everyone else did too. Okay, so 65, I'm taking some off. Okay, so I bagged some profits on that. I'm profitable no matter what. I need to adjust my stop. Finally, CL's rolling for me. And since CL's so volatile on the close there, I'm going to take another scale there, guys. Here at 72, that's close enough to where I wanted to be. I'll just leave the trailer. 77, I took that off at, and 78. Okay, so that's freaking kick ass. There's not much you can say about that. It's 40 some odd ticks. And I have a trailer left for the home run. And adjusting stop before I forget that I have too much size on my stop. There we go. Hey, Daniel, did you take the CL trade? I know that was right after inventories, after all that preaching of not taking it, but that was sure a pretty setup. Y'all see what I did there, guys? See how I came in across, right? See how we had that last push up? As soon as we close, Daniel, that's exactly what we discussed, Bill. Same thing, right? Pushed up, closed underneath, right? Press, roll, right? And that was my downside target. We're on it. So I'm just leaving the last little bit of trailer to see if I can't flush into London close. Okay, but that was my target to the downside. Bill, do you see that? Daniel, do you see that? That's the same trade I was trying to pull off with NQ this morning, but they made it really freaking hard. Normally that would have gone a lot smoother. See how I was talking about? So in your case, you could have gotten that 50, 60 back there, right? But I'm pretty happy to just take it here, stop it here. I mean, that usually pays pretty damn nicely. I'll move that off unless anything happens. Now let's just hope London close tanks them. What I was trying to express this morning, guys, was that if you're going to press on a day like today where they're just whipping you up and down, once you get a hold of it, you got to give it a chance to actually roll and pay you, or you end up having a very difficult time. We have 10 minutes to London close, and I'm going to cover right in front of London close on this one way or the other, or they're going to run it back up on me, one of the two. I need a minute to run out to my car. I'll be right back. 8 minutes till London close, guys. Should be very interesting. I will close this position at the close or just in front of the close, wherever that may be at this point. Massive push down, guys. Note that on the 1.5 range. We get above that. Biggest delta push. I would draw a line above that. We get above that, start looking for pushes against it for longs. And now that we're underneath it, see how we're trapped back in there? So that's the first trap back in, but the second trap back in could force the squeeze. See how big that volume bar was there? That was a big push. We get above this area, which is now, I'd have 2639.75 marked off on your charts, unless we replace it with a bigger push. Okay, so oh wait, you may not have been able to hear me. Sorry. Hey guys, I was trying to point out, see on that ES, see how that's the biggest push down? So two things. See how the trap back in caused a little short squeeze, but the second trap back in, if you're mega aggressive, your stop is right there, could force your push up. But if you close just above this 2639.75, this whole area should become your support for the roll back to the upside. So I don't know if it's possible, but I'd write that down on your notes for 2639. And also, if you'll notice on CL, we have continued to fall. I'm going to close out my trailer here shortly. Actually, I'm into an anomaly down here at 50.45. So anything you have left, I'd get rid of. That's a valid anomaly, that 50.32. Do you see that, Daniel? That's a valid location. See how we came within a tick in front of it? Okay. So heads up on that. And then also don't forget to, oh wait, you can't see it because I'm not showing it to you. I apologize. That's a valid anomaly right there. And then watch for the break of the trend line. See how that big that push was right there? So you're right in front of the close. But watch for us to close above that. Could be a nice flip back to the long side. Right here. We close above this 50-50, and they could short squeeze it back up. Just be aware of that, okay? So again, I'll be closing the last of the NQ here in just a couple of minutes, and I'm probably going to lunch. Hoping for a nasty, nasty London panic, sell the futures kind of close. Also remember, I would not initiate in the next 5 to 8 minutes on CL. Remember last week we saw in 1 minute a 60 or 70 tick rip. Woo! Getting a little interesting there on NQ. Let's just go ahead and panic it out, guys. Actually, that's the close above. If this happened any other time of day besides right now, I'd be long there with a stop right there. I'm concerned about the liquidity at London close, but that's a long for me. Got a break of the trend line yet? Yeah, that's a valid long with the stop at the low for me. I'm all right with that for a push back up. That sucks that they put it right in front of London close, but T-3 to London close, panic in full effect. T minus 2. Oh, hell, that's close enough for me. Flat. 39s and 40s. All done. That's it. That was a 70-point trade, so pretty good. I'll take it, especially after the fiasco. Daniel, do you see the long setup there on CL? I think it's just from front of London. I'd be like hell if I want to take it there. The interesting thing is they really haven't been able to tank this thing like you would think they'd be able to. I'll be right back. And that's what I meant by on CL. You can't screw with it at the close. London close. Let's see what we do now. They didn't nail NQ as bad as I thought they would. I'll tell you that. Daniel, what anomaly are you headed for on CL? Can you update me on that? It looks like they're breaking 50-24. Yeah, I think they need to back above 50-32 again. I don't see why they can't drive it up a little bit. But it's not set up yet. It was set up there for a second. And the lift after lunch. After London close. Look at that. They just panicked into London close. And then I don't know. I don't have anything here on that anomaly. Just FYI, I'm looking. I'm looking. You got to get back above 50.29 to get back above that. If you do, you can save it. But if it doesn't get over 50.29, 49.60 is the logical target. That should hold. That's a double distribution. That should hold, right? So the question is, how hard do they make it? Excuse me a second, guys. And guys on YouTube, I'm going to turn this off. I appreciate y'all joining. If you'd like to come join us in the room on a regular basis, just send me an email. Forgot to left it on so long. Just send me an email to tradertough@gmail.com, and I'm happy to give you a couple of days pass to come in the room and watch us. Anyways, I will talk to y'all in a little bit. Have a great day.